Okay, hello and welcome to my one and only viewer ever, Lori Smiley Smoo. Looks like we got a beautiful game here of Lion support. Here we are. Okay, let's get this shit fucking rolling, boys.
It's in the bag! Prepare for
It's
battle!
in the bag.
Alright, so I'm on your player perspective. I don't know if this is not working or you're just weird camera. Or maybe just weird camera. Okay, so you got your items. Looks solid. One thing I'm going to say right now, I may or may not have said this before, but what it is often smart to do is to give one of your observer wards to either the off lane or the mid, because you don't really want two wards down here. Don't forget the high five! High five! High five! High five! Yes! Whew. Oh my god, that was pretty frightening. But it's okay, we got our ward down. Oh, they're coming in. So we see these guys coming. Whoa! All right. Let's talk about this for a second. So, Lion skill Earth Spike. There is no limit to how many units it can hit. So here used it and it hit one. Now, first of all, when you saw these guys coming, the first thing that you should have done is run away, right? A little scary. We're actually going to go a little, maybe a bit slower here. All right, because this is actually like kind of important thing. So your ward spots them really early, right? So we've got like 2-3 seconds of vision of all three of these guys. Spirit Breaker level 1 is incredibly scary. One of the strongest heroes level 1 in the entire game. Magnus is also pretty good. Storm Spirit's pretty good. So Storm Spirit got a lot of armor. Spirit Breaker's got HP, armor, and damage. So it's just a bad scene. All right. So basically, the first thing you should do is run away with your carry to high ground. I would save my stun here. Right. You start walking towards them. Basically, no hope of getting a kill here or really doing much of anything. So running towards them, definitely not right. Mitch is probably yelling, "Oh, run away, run away, run away!" So you get a stun here. I would have saved that, right? Because if you still have it, right, and you stun here, right? Now you're hitting two people, which science has not yet answered the question if that's more than one or not, but it seems pretty good to me to hit two people. But looks like there. So now at this point, right, we with our vision, right, which our great vision, the ward you place here, we saw that two of them left, and it's just the Magnus, right? As soon as they left, that's the time where you turn, because now every right click you do, every auto attack, is 52 damage onto this guy. Magnus has 700 HP, right? So yeah, you're not gonna kill him here, but you could be basically twice as close hitting him. Mitch is hitting him. This is another place where you could even consider using your stun. Mitch chases a little too far here. I think going down the stairs is not a good idea. But excellent stun there. Excellent stun. So you got two of them, did a good amount of damage, and stopped their pursuit altogether. Now that's a mistake again for Mitchell. So what's the mistake here? The mistake is, one, that was a stun to leave, right? There was no need to re-engage. If he is going to re-engage, he should re-engage on the guy that he's already got Fury Swipe stacks on. because how Ursa works is every attack does bonus at level 1 7 damage, right? So if you've already got Fury Swipes, which he has on Magnus, he's got one. Now he put his first one onto the Spirit Breaker, right? You really want to attack there. You've already got Fury Swipes on because it stacks. It's really good. I got Bash level 1 instead of Charge. That's a mistake actually. So whatever. We'll ignore that. So Mitch kind of looks like here, because if he got Bash, he could have taken a lot more damage there. But really, he should have just immediately left. It's okay, we're running down. Mitch turns here. Again, no reason, you're just taking free damage for nothing. Alright. Cool. So a couple things in that exchange. I think the Tango usage there was totally fine. And now we just chill and wait. So off the bat, I believe we talked about this before, but when you attack the enemy in lane, which you absolutely should do, if you do it too close to the creep wave, the creeps will de-aggro the enemy creeps, right? So the red creeps are hitting the green creeps, but when you attack this, they're like, hey, that's my master or whatever, so I'm mad at you now. So they'll start attacking you, right? They don't do a lot of damage, but when 2 or 3 creeps are hitting you, it can do a lot of damage pretty quick, right? Especially, you're under tower, so you got bonus armor, but really you usually only have 1 armor, right? So it's not a lot of defense here. So, long story short, you want to stand basically far enough away, and this is something you kind of have to like feel out, far enough away from the creep wave that you don't take aggro, right? Like that. Right, so you just took 50 damage from creeps, basically free of charge, right? That's as if he right-clicked you one time, but he didn't even have to right-click you. And because these creeps are not attacking our creeps, that's going to cause the lane to push up. I'm pointing, but you can't see that, actually. It's going to point up. It's going to... I can't draw, I don't think. It's going to push the wave towards the enemy tower. You want it to keep... You basically want the creep wave to stay, like, right here, indefinitely, ideally. So... this is one thing to keep in mind, right? Alright, so you've taken, just to harp on this a little bit fucking more because I can't stop. You've taken 100 damage from creeps. Not the enemy. The enemy's done nothing. Just from you getting attacked by creeps, you've taken 100 damage in this lane so far. That was a little... you tried to steal some last hits there. I appreciate the effort, but level 1 this does no damage anymore. So I would just save it for you. I would just save it. That was waste of mana. Not to mention us had a last. Anyway, he got 1 last hit, so that's good. What was that? Okay. Yeah, so partially because of the aggro you took, it pushed the wave up a little bit. So we're going down to pull. Maybe a little early. Ooh, very good. So by walking over and taking that hit, it aggroes the creeps. That was really, really good. See, this is way too early. So, you basically want to pull this so they're around here when this last creep dies, right? Pulling them that early doesn't really do anything. And if we free camera for a second, this whole time, if we hop back, this whole time, Mitch has been like dying in lane. Should Mitch be playing this aggro when you're pulling? No. Absolutely not. The chance of getting a kill there is very low, and the chance of him, even if he gets this kill, dying is very high. And he never built Mask, so... Oops, I keep moving the camera. So all this exchange really did was Ursa has to sub up now. Kind of unfortunate. And we didn't get the pull here. But that's one where even gonna get this south off. He goes back in. Holy shit. Yeah, so he loses half his south. Mitchell, please. For the love of God. Yeah, so you try to pull this again, but it's a little too late now. On the bright side, you can still get a couple denies here, so let's see how that goes. By perspective, we're gonna look at your camera. So definitely get that deny. Oh, beautiful. And Mitch is gonna get the other one. Smile. Ooh, really good stun. Really good stun.
Thanks.
Okay, so stunning them under tower is always really good because they can take tower hits, tower aggro. They're in a really unsafe spot as a good stun. Now, what wasn't good here is you missed a really good arrow mid, by the way. Andy had a really good fucking play. So Mitchell kind of fucks up here because while the Spirit Breaker was stunned, he could be hitting him this whole time. But now that the Hex is about to run out, now he's going in, right? So he's taking all this creep aggro, he's taking Magnus aggro, and he's going to be taking Spirit Breaker aggro with no salve, with no defensive abilities available on Lion. Like, what's the game plan here, really, though? We got 300 HP on Ursa. We've got 350 on Magnus, 400 on Spirit Breaker. Unsurprisingly, Mitch ends up dying. Now, was that your fault? Absolutely not. That was a mistake by your carry, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. I think that your stun under tower was really good. Now, what can happen here? We'll slow this down. So your stun comes off in 1 second. Currently, I can't check it, but currently the tower is aggro to Magnus. So if you stun him right here, you will get a kill. Yeah, that was unfortunate. If he stayed under tower, he would have taken 1 or 2 more tower hits, and that would have been enough. On the bright side, though, he doesn't have a salve, so you are probably... He's probably going to have to, like, go back to base or whatever. But that's good. Yep, that's fine. A little earlier on the stun, a little more heads up, and you would have gotten that kill there. But it's really no big deal. This whole exchange is kind of Mitch's fault, unfortunately. Looks like we're coming over to stack. I guess Mitch is at full HP, so this is fine stack. So we'll say it's fine stack. So you're holding Alt, you're checking to see when it says to pull. It should be 1, 2, 3, go. Perfect. And did that even stack? I think, yeah, it may have not stacked because you walked down here, right? So the creeps came and stopped and then walked back. I think with this pull, you have to just walk straight this way over here. So they come as far out as possible before coming back. I think that might have just been the issue with that stack. That's okay. That happens to the best of us. Oh, I'm on free camera, not directed camera. Yeah, Mitch is trying to fight this out, but I just don't know if it's the game plan to fight it out here. thinking that's probably Stake Farm. This would be a good time because of how far the creep wave is up. It might be a really good time to do a pull. Alright, so this comes down to this situation right here. Basically comes down to communication in lane, right? A little discombobulated. You're stunned there. I think it was fine if Mitchell was like, it's like, hey, I'm gonna stun this guy. Mitch could come in and just kill him, right? He's at super low HP. But as it was, Mitch wasn't in position to come in, and Magnus was able to skewer you under tower. So fuck. Yeah. So maybe a slightly positive net exchange there, but it's still kind of rough because now Mitch has no HP and he's out of lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Illusion.
Alright, so we're doing the classic sit in base. We got some wards, time to play sports. Now's not a good time to play sports. Now, this would be one of the situations where I might just leave the wards in base and say, hey Andy, there are wards in base. Can you place them? Because I need to stay bottom with Mitchell. Because you know he's really low HP. You know that Storm Spirit is missing, as we pinged. You know that they've got a Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker is really good at charging from anywhere on the map and trying to get kills. So now is really not a good time. And as we see down here, Mitch gets killed. So this is one where as soon as you respawn, it was probably the call to TP bottom, right? You've got a level 2 stun, you've got Hex. You could do a lot to keep Mitch alive, or at least turn this into like a 1-for-1 or something. See, because we're getting to the point where Mitch has got 10 last hits against the Juggernaut's 15, and fucking Andy's 16. So it's getting a little bit dicey. And that's part of why I think that the dive here with Mitch, he got the kill, but it ended up costing him his life. He missed 2, I guess probably 3 in the end, lanes of farm and EXP. And if you look at the net worth, yeah, he's like totally at the bottom basically. So really not a great overall exchange. I would say that go to place wards is good, but I think that sometimes the call has got to be made like, hey, Andy, you're able to roam around, but like I need to be bottom with Mitchell because this lane's like really rough right now. So I wouldn't say that any of that was really like your fault in particular. I think that... Why is your camera doing weird things always? Like, where are you looking right now on your screen? Yeah, it's just like something to think about. But your word placements are fine, they're good. Yeah, one thing that I do is I have it, there's a setting where if you hold down, well, whatever button is your hero button, so like, I don't know what the game plan was there, Mitchell. If you hold down the button, it will keep the camera centered on your hero. What the fuck? That was a good right click, because Mitch would not have gotten that actually. Alright, so Storm's got double damage. Your positioning's fine here, basically defensive positioning, waiting for Storm to go in. I don't know if that stun was good. That stun, so because of where your man is at right now, your stun is like really critical if they go on Mitchell. No. See, I would say this is like a really big mistake. Kind of mostly again, Mitchie's fault. This is a bait, right? So you can kill the Magnus here, probably, but they've got a Spirit Breaker who's missing. They've got a Storm Spirit who we actually see, in fact. Free camera. We see the Storm Spirits right here, right? We do not see the Tusk, but he is like right around here. I mean, really, the only hero we see on the map other than Storm Spirit Magnus is like Jug farming. All the other supports are like off map. It's like really spoopy right now. Andy hits a good arrow and kind of stops him from going in. So if Andy wasn't there and hit that arrow, then Magnus probably would have skewered one of you back, and it would have been a kill for nothing. But now we're kind of in the very spoopy situation where you actually don't have any mana. So if they go on Mitchell, you got nothing to do. Your position here is a little defensive, like maybe even too conservative here, because you're not getting lane experience, right? You get lane experience whenever Creep dies or Mitch gets a last hit. It's about 3/4 of the screen, right? So like here-ish, your range for the experience. So down here, so that's part of the reason why you're only level 3, not almost level 4, whereas Mitch is level 5, right? And even the Magnus, who's died a couple times, level 5. So he got level 4, so it's good. So Mitch, without having a defensive support there, was kind of in a dangerous spot. Hopefully Andy's able to help. We're going to slow this down. So this fight's been going on for about 2-3 seconds, and you have not used a skill yet. What I would have suggested, and your only skill right now is Mana Drain. I think that if you Mana Drain the Storm Spirit in particular, that'd probably be very strong. Right? If you have Mana Drain the Storm Spirit, you get 20 mana per second. So the 3 seconds you were Mana Draining him, he would be at like 150 mana instead, and you would have enough mana to do an Earth Spike, right? All you really need is enough mana to Earth Spike. You can Earth Spike all 3 where they were, and maybe save Mitchell, maybe give him enough time to turn around and kill. But as is, by not using it, yeah. And then Spirit Breaker, not really the best target for Mana Drain at this point, because it's like all he needs is enough mana to do his charge, and he can pretty much always do that, so. So now we're in a very scary situation. Mitch is doing a very aggressive teleport here. Nice. Okay, we're going to go back to directed camera. So you're looking at mid right now, you're looking at... Oh, no, I went player perspective, sorry, my bad. I don't know if that was supposed to be a pull or a stack or what. Yeah, this has been a game, because the laning stage was so, like, fighty. This would be one where I think that really the focus shouldn't be on stacking, it should be on just keeping your carry alive. Mitchell's not made it easy for you this game, but it's still important to try. Fortunately, at this point, they kind of, what are we doing? At this point, they've kind of left Mitchell alone because they're like, alright, he's super behind, which he is. He's down here at the bottom. Yeah, so I'm not really sure about what the TP top was about. Thing is, you don't have any mana. I might have just stayed babysitting Mitchell at this point, because you don't really want to walk all the way over here to where this fight is, and the fight pretty much is already like over at this point. Good suck. I think I feed here. They didn't have enough. Yeah, I didn't have enough. Look at that. 20 HP. Yeah. Oh, wait, do I live here? That's funny. Okay, so what are we doing over here on Lion?
Middle is missing.
Radiant's middle.
So now that you're here on these camps, maybe now would be a good time to do a stack. No, we're walking. So that should be with support, right? There's a number of things that it's like there's a lot. Honestly, frankly, there's a lot of things you got to be thinking about. Like, oh, what do I have to do? But kind of what I do when I play support, which is somewhat rare, but kind of helps me like focus, is think about like, all right, well, like I'm going to do this, but like, what can I do in the meantime? So right now you're walking all the way from top lane, looks like to bottom lane, right? Which is actually fine. I think that walking from top lane to bottom lane here is fine because you want to be with Mitchell. But like, that's one of the times where you look at the clock and you say, all right, well, it's around like 40 seconds. I can go and wait for 10 seconds by a camp and stack it on the way over. Right, stack a camp. It's good for Mirana, good for Klinks, good for Ursa. That's really solid. It looks like you were looking at like what items to buy here, which is fine and good. Someone should really buy you a tome. Yeah. So Mitchell again. This is a consistent fucking issue. So he was like right-clicking the Storm Spirit. Oh, right-click that guy. Okay. So what was the issue there? Well, one, Mitchell waited until he was already dead to ult, which is kind of a small issue. But, so you right-click this guy once, you hex him. Your suns were stacked perfectly, by the way. Really, really good. Slow it down. So you start walking forward. You could have right-clicked him one time here, right? You got 62 damage. One time, two times. Right, so there is 2 right clicks worth of damage on him, right? So that's like 60 some damage. If you look at his HP right now, 100 HP. So your 2 right clicks, right? And he takes another right click. Right. 75 is where his health's at. If you had right clicked him twice there, which you had the ability to do, he'd be dead, 100%. So at this point, all you should be, when you're at 0 mana like this in this kind of fight, all you should be doing is looking for a target to mana drain, right? Gives you the slow, which is really solid. More importantly, it gives you mana back. So your camera's a little low, right? The fight is happening like up here, So why are we looking, like, if you look at your field of vision right now, this is a play perspective, your field of vision is like the tower, the lane, these creeps, freeze here, but like all the heroes are up here. So we could move this all the way up here, really. Auto attacking creeps here. Yeah. Alright, so look at this guy. Time to suck him. Perfect. Really good luck. You got like, what was that, almost 100 mana off of this guy. So he's having a hard time doing his stuff. Who's feeding up here, actually? Joe's trying to kill the plebs, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, the mana suck there was really good. Now he's only got 40 mana. He can't cast any of his abilities, right? It's pop wand just to be able to skewer. Pretty fucking good. Trying to catch a nice stalker at night. Alright, so that's what... So where are we? We're 10 minutes, right? Every 5 minutes, you should be standing at one of the runes unless there's like an absolutely like dead critical reason you can't be, right? In the middle of a fight, like there are people already there, right? These runes are worth a shit ton of money for their entire team. So
I'll take that as tribute. Taste.
Matriarch will prize.
they just got four runes. So if we look at the here, if you look at the gold graph real quick, right? That was a swing of like 500 gold just off of those runes right there, right? Like that's crazy. So it's really important to get those runes. They're worth a lot of money. Where are we? Okay. Let's go.
This won't be pretty.
Mitch is going to go feed top. Again, I would say that you should be with Mitchell at this point, right? Because like what, like the question again you got to ask is like, what am I doing? Like, what's the point of being here right now? Like, the point of going to lane with your carry in the first place is to help secure them farm, help zone out the offlaner, right? Alright, well, it's 10 minutes in. Your safe lane carry has moved to a different lane altogether. So right now, you're really only standing here to stab some EXP, to protect the Night Stalker, who doesn't really need protecting. And there's not really any reason. So, and you've got 3 wards to be placed. Yeah, so I understand you want to stun this guy, but yeah. So this is a situation where I would say that there's not really any point in using your stun on the Spirit Breaker there, because you're not going to be able to turn it. So just walk away, and if they chase, then you can stun. Because as is, it just used all your disables on a guy who wasn't doing anything, and then they were just able to just kill you, right? And in the meantime, you could have just been protecting Mitchell, who I'm sure is going to die shortly. But you got your tome, so you're going to have 6, which is good. Mitchell's catch-up farming because their safe lane carry is not good. Alright, so you're up. Where to? Where to, officer?
Dire's top tower is under attack. It looks like they're going after Dire's middle tower.
So we'll walk at bottom again. Oh, walking top maybe. I don't know why your camera is never on your hero. That's strange. So, we're walking past camps. We could be stacking right now. But at least we're going to the right lane, in my opinion. So I understand you're here to place wards, but there's actually a fight happening, like, right over here. So, you're down here placing wards. Your carry is, like, in the middle of a fight, right over here. So, oh, shit. Time to turn around.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't know if you could have saved him because he was way too far with no vision, but it's nice to show up, you know? It's the thought that counts.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's unfortunate when you're a carry and you die and your full HP, full mana support is just like, oh shit, word? You're dying? So now I guess the question is, where are you walking? Because they obviously all showed top. The top is really where we want to be. We want to go fight there. Someone yells at you to go up, so you turn around and you start walking back there. But right now, blap. The perspective. Yeah, so right now, your camera's on this fight, which is absolutely what it should be. Right, you're watching what's happening. The ultimate's flying. Everyone's shooting. My ult's going off. You're still walking up. If you hadn't walked away, you would have been here for this entire fight. Right. Would have been pretty solid. Good stun. A really good stun. Yeah, the only complaint I really have is that you weren't there the whole time, right? You could have fingered somebody, got some finger bonus damage. But, you know, it's all good.
This won't be pretty. They've reached Dire's top tower.
So this is a point where I would say, okay, well, I'm hitting the tower. You just got some AoE gold for the heroes dying. Maybe you run to the side shop real quick, grab the boots. Your damage, while significant, that's not even you. What the fuck? Yeah, your damage, 70 damage on the tower, not really doing that much. It's probably just as well for you to go and get boots, so you can run around a little bit better. But just the small things. All right, so we see them TPing in. We back up a little bit. So the gameplay here should be they're going to initiate on somebody, hopefully not you, and then you press your buttons to stop them from doing that. Right? So this is a situation where they initiated on Mitchell, or you kind of initiated on them. You could have hexed the Storm Spirit, or stunned the Storm Spirit, or both, right? Right? If you do either of those, then he just fucking dies.
This won't be pretty. They've reached Dire's
And this is another one where if you have the boots, you're able to move around a little bit better. That's okay.
tower has fallen.
Let me walk back. Alright, interesting word, but I think it's fine. Pretty aggressive. Clicking on the mini-map. It's just weird that sometimes you're just like staring at blank space. I imagine you're maybe farting around in the shop, but like your hero's like all the way over here, and you're looking at nowhere. Alt tabs, looking at fucking porn or something. Alright, so the game's in hand now. Doing fine. Here to place wards. Good. Now, it is rune time. So, You're camped out of the ruin, as you should be. Very good. Camped out. Mitch is gonna run across the river. Are we gonna help Mitch get this? Nope. Now just back off. Yep, that's fine. You still have not picked up your boots yet. As soon as you have the gold for boots, you should get boots. That's pretty much. Oh, I fed somewhere. As soon as you get the money for boots, you should get boots because it makes a huge difference in your ability to walk around and do shit. That's a little fucking. Ooh, very nice ultimate. A little monk ass in the sun there. You could have spent a little earlier, but I think it was okay in the end. I think it's fine that you backed off here because you don't have boots, so diving is not smart. You carry tranquil boots. Oh, you built. Okay, let me just complain about this for a second. So you built your tranquil boots by riding the windlace first, then the ring of regen, then the boots. Boots first. Boots first, then other things. Boots are very, very, very important. Yeah. It's non-negotiable. Get those, build the boots first, then other items. That's just a
Radiant's top tower has been attacked.
factorino. Little known fact, I bet you didn't know this. You can. Oh no. Okay, I'm reporting you for this. So you're at full HP, have mana. You can mana drain creeps. You did not know this until just now, but you can mana drain creeps. Using the shrine as a solo position 5 support is very, 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 very rarely a good decision. So you can mana drain jungle creeps, and you can also mana drain the range creep in lane. That is what you should do when you are low on mana like that. Not pop the shrine. That's a naughty lore. We don't do that. That's fine.
Dire's bottom tower is under siege. It seems Dire has chosen to strengthen their structures.
Practicing our pulling. That's I would say it's fine, but I think we probably want to push that tower soon.
Siege.
Okay.
Middle is missing. Middle is missing.
Regeneration.
Taking some lane farm. That's totally fine. No. Okay. So you probably should have hexed this guy before he got off. So basically, as soon as he zipped in, you can hex him. His hex is instant, and Earth Spike is not. But yeah, there's not really much to do about that. I mean, they got Storm Spirit, Spirit Breaker, is what it is. I don't think you were insanely out of position. Watching the fight.
I guess.
And this did not pop his ult in time. Smiley Smoo.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah.
siege.
So with Ursa, you want to pop ult when you're not at 0 HP because that doesn't do anything. Alright, so this is an issue.
Less than 4 kills.
There's a big fight going on. Now is not the time to fuck around with items. You had fucking 30 seconds of being dead to look at your items and be like, oh, what should I buy next? Now you need to TP instantly to the bot lane because there's a big fight going on. It's still going on. You gotta come. And you're walking mid. Bro! There's a fight! There's a fight happening. Hello?
A dominating performance. Ultra kill.
Fortunately, I'm like fucking rampaging out over here, but
Mega kill.
yeah.
Rampage.
So fortunately,
Reminds me of the Steam Summer Sale.
fortunately, I got a rampage there, which is very good and a lot of gold, but Yeah, you should have come to that. That should have been you there. You could finger somebody, kill secure, KS me. That's fine. But taking that wave mid, really not value, right? Come to the fights, you get more levels by being at the fights. You look at hero level, you are at the bottom. So just being where the action is.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Here, place some words. Looks like you're gonna place it here again. Might I suggest placing it on top of the spire?
Dire's bottom tower is under siege.
Place it on top of the spire, you get more vision. It's only when they deward you up there that maybe you start switching down.
Tower is simply no more.
But spire, cool spot for wards. Miley Smooth. I defended your words. They tried to deward. The thing is, so when you walked mid, they saw you place those words, right? Which is why they tried to deward them. But I got your back, and I missed last hit, so I suck. Okay. All right, now, no. I think I'm probably yelling at you right now, but two aggro across the river. Don't be a Mitch. Don't run across the river for no reason. Where Mitch should actually be farming, by the way, is not down here. Mitch should be farming here in this triangle. Why should he be farming the triangle? Because he has no escape on his hero. He should be farming the safest part of the map. We've got vision here. We got vision here. So there's like very little chance they can come in and attack him. This is probably the spot for him to be farming. That's okay. He hasn't died at all this game. Wrap up. So yeah, we've had, I think you tried to stack twice. I don't know if we got either stack off, but that's okay. We're still learning. The main thing with stacking while we're here is you want to keep walking in the direction so they follow you for the maximum distance, so they have a chance to all be out of the camp even when it's done. So you run all the way up. Yep, perfect. And you got the stack. Easy peasy. Yep. So at this point in the game, it's really not a great way for you to farm. You should just be coming to fights. Looks like there's one top. Running up with the trinks. I think it's good that you're looking at the fight and not your hero here. That's very smart. I don't know if that's... Alright, so yeah. Pause here. So you don't want to be standing like right on top of Mitchell like that, right? Because the Tusk has the ability to AoE stun. You kind of want to be far enough away that when they go on Mitchell, when he's at half health, which he always is because he didn't pick up a Morbid Mask this game. What does a Morbid Mask do? Morbid Mask heals the attack for 15% of attack damage dealt. Wow, that sure is useful on a hero that's constantly hitting creeps and wants to regen a lot. That would be great on Mitchell's Ursa. But he didn't build it, that's fine. So, you want to be standing a little bit, like, basically where you are now, maybe a couple more steps away. So as soon as someone goes on them, you can just instantly Earth Spike them or Hex them, right? Ideally, initiate with the Hex, because the Hex is instant cast with no cast animation.
They've made a beeline for Radiant's bottom tower.
That's fine. Okay, yeah. So when it gets fortified, they changed this actually pretty recently. When a tower gets fortified, it gets extra shots and like does bonus damage and shit. So basically, when the tower gets fortified, just run away. Also, even at this point in the game, I would say that you right-clicking a tower is not necessary, and you're probably just better off standing in the back lines, like here-ish. So when they go at Mitchell, you can stun and save him. So this is a mistake by me. Let's talk about this. This is a mistake by me. I didn't realize that the tusk was up here, right? I thought they were all back here. So I get caught out here and basically instantly killed. Mitch doesn't pop ultimate here, which is a mistake because he takes a shit ton of damage and Mitch dies. Your stun is really good here, but as soon as you stun, you should run away because you're just gonna die. The other issue with attacking there, right? So you stunned and attacked. Well, when you attack, your Tranquil Boots got a cooldown, right? So instead of getting 26% movement speed, you get 18% and 7%, so kind of a big deal at like 300 movement speed. So the stun was fine, but running away was the option. It's kind of a big throw. I was out of position, too aggressive, but the fact that Mitch didn't pop ult there is a little bit Vega. And he also had no wand. I thought he had a wand, but he did not have a wand. Oops. But okay, live and learn. As Sonic the Hedgehog once taught me, live and learn. You got your tome, you got some more wards. Looks like you're building a Yule Scepter. I would say Yule Scepter is, in my opinion, not to build this game. What I would build instead is a Glimmer Cape. Now, what does a Glimmer Cape do? After a 0.6 second delay, it grants invisibility and 45% magic resistance to you or target allied unit for 5 seconds. So, why is this useful? Well, it's useful because you can cast it on yourself when you're being gone on, right? Or you can cast it on Mitchell when he's being gone on. It gives you magic resistance, and it gives you survivability. So it's overall a really good item when you're kind of the squishy support. They've got a lot of initiators. You don't want to die. Alright. Alright, so when the little spikes pop at him, that means he's using an item called Blade Mail. Blade Mail reflects 100% of damage taken back to the attacker. So when you fingered him for 600 damage, you also took 600 damage, which is why you're currently at, like, no HP. It's still fine, though. I think that the fingering somebody there was smart. Denying this tower is good. Looks like my dear wife is home. Okay, so we're pushing. We already got some deep wards down, but we can potentially get more. Now, here again, we're all pushing up. See how I'm a little bit back, right? That's kind of where you should be. You should be a little bit far back. As soon as someone comes in, you can initiate. You can counter initiate, right? Counter initiation is the name of the game. This game, when they've got a Spirit Breaker, they've got a Storm Spirit, they've got a Magnus, they've got a Tusk. They've got so many initiators. This game, your main focus should be counter initiation. The other thing is that mana draining creeps. You didn't know about it until just now. I would bet my fucking house on it, but it's really important. You can do it every wave. Just be like, hey guys, let me mana drain this creep real quick. You mana drain the creep for a couple seconds. They kill the rest of the creeps, then kill your creep, right? It just allows you to be topped up on mana, right? Especially at this point where you get 60 mana per second, right? You only need like 5 seconds, right? And you're back at full mana. So because you were so far forward, you got caught in the Magnus ultimate here. See, I was a little further back, and I did not get caught. Because I didn't get caught, I was able to silence the Magnus. Not fast enough, but it was able to kill him. Right? But that entire fight kind of ended up going that way because we all got caught by the Magnus ultimate, right? Which is unfortunate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mitch stayed way too long here. That's not really bad. Yeah, I turned around to save Mitchell and did not. That's okay. We're gonna pause here at 24 minutes. Okay, found some words. Very good.
Vanish.
Am I still on your player perspective?
The prize is mine.
Good. So we got the runes. Is exactly what I was gonna say, but you got it. Perfect. Just hanging out, having a good old time. Looks like Mitchell's having a bad old time. Alright. So again, you're looking at the fight, which is good. You got a really good arrow here. We got a good silence for my Night Stalker. If Mitchell had a mask here, he would be full HP. But of course, he's not. Silence on the Storm Spirit was good.
What? This is Gabe Newell. Thanks
Yeah.
for playing.
So looking at the fight was really good.
Double kill.
Looks like you notice there's still plebs here. Start chasing, but you back off. So the name of the game right now is just be in position to save Mitchell, right? When they go on Mitchell, you want to stop them from killing him. But we baited a fight, and now we can reap our rewards. Or just rewards.
Wisely chosen to fortify their own structures. Looks like they're going after Dire's middle tower. It's beyond comprehension. Dire's middle tower is gone.
I
Gone.
think the word there, I don't know about that. I think that would be better to word. I think if you place that word right here, that's just better, right? Because I think they're more likely to TP to this shrine and come behind. And we're more likely to run out this way than we are to do this one. Because we already have words here, so if they come around through here, we already see them. It's a small thing, but it's one of those where you got to think like, when you're Radiant pushing Dire, they have this tower still. They've got this shrine. This is probably the better place for Vision than this, if we're going to place it. And placing a sentry down just like right here is also a really good thing, just because it lets you like see any invisible initiations. Oops. I'm not looking at your camera. Alright, so the call was to back. Probably like, let's do Roche. Or something. Alright, so imagine, in a typical game, imagine your offlaner is like a fucking offensive line. You want to be behind the line. You don't want to be in front of the line, typically. So when Night Stalker backs up, you want to be like a couple steps ahead of him. Because if they initiate on you and kill you, you just die. But if they initiate on him and you're behind him, then you can... Think of that guy. Oh! That would have been a good time to use finger because you get the bonus damage. But let's see if we finger anybody here. So we did not.
Dire's courier died today of rather unusual cause.
So that was unfortunate. Using finger on a full health target like that, not really ideal. You also could have used Mana Drain to slow him down. At this point, it slows him 30%, which is pretty significant. Roche kills him. That's so good. Yeah, so kind of unfortunate on that. I agree. But that's okay. We're still trying to build this Yules. Yeah, maybe the guide says to build Yules, but I just don't know if it's value. So what are the main advantages of building Yules, right? It allows you to stop TPs, which you already have the ability to do. It gives you mana regeneration, which you already can get with your Mana Drain. You Mana Drain this creep right here. You full mana right now. Feels great. Nice. 69.
I'm a brawler in his.
So at this point in the game as well, I would say that you don't want to spend on your gold because right down here in the bottom right, buyback cooldown available, 287 gold needed for buyback. You want to have, in fact, you need to have gold for buyback at this point in the game. As a Position 5 support, you should always have the ability to buy back if need be. Position 5 buybacks are really, really critical. In a lot of fights, you can really turn the fight, especially if you get initiated and unkilled, and then you can just TP back in and turn the fight in your team's favor. So I would definitely save for buyback if at all possible. If you hold over this, it shows you how much gold you are above or under. So right now it's 287 under, right? So if it says 1,000 over, you can buy a 1,000 gold item and you will still be over, right? And this is the difference between, as I talked to you today about, there's reliable gold and unreliable gold. So your unreliable gold, that goes away when you die. So the death cost is 96, right? This is all stuff I guess is more like technical than really matters, but really good stun there, and you hex him, perfect. Now finger somebody, yes! Yes. That was so fucking good, dog. That was excellent. Magnus ulted, you were in, we're gonna look at it again because it's so good. Oh fuck, that was loud. So, you're down here, you're watching the fight, you're backing up a little bit, this is fine, we're turning it in, right, and what are you saying, you're in the back lines, right, the Magnus ults, but you immediately stun, so his ult is totally wasted, your hex stacked perfectly, and he fingered, and he's just dead. And he's just dead. Perfect. Huge turn of that fight. You basically, like, saved the shit out of that fight. Because what we didn't want to have happen is Juggernaut just ult us there and we all die. Incredibly good play. I'm very impressed and happy. Smile. Okay, so again, you could be a full mana if you just mana drain the creep, but that's okay. We're learning about this. Now, the only person they have up is Storm Spirit. So, what a Storm Spirit likes to do, and you don't know this, but you're going to learn right now. Storm Spirit is able to zip his, like, zippy ultimate thing. He can zip, he basically just clicks here and says zip, and while he's zipping, he can teleport home. So, because the zip does a lot of damage to creeps just by passing through it, the further you go, it basically kills a creep wave or two, and he's like invulnerable the whole time. But if you are a support and you're standing like right here in the center, you can get murked as well. So, long story short, pro tip against the Storm Spirit, stand off to the side. You might even just not hit the tower at all here, because your damage to the tower is like negligible, and your ability to save is like really critical. So as I said, got the zip here. Unfortunate for him, we got the arrow and my silence, so he just instantly died. Not really the dream. Oh my god, what is going on with that? Really good stun. Mana drain him. Mana drain him. He got 4 buttons. He got 4 buttons. You would have enough mana to cast more abilities. You mana drain him.
They're unstoppable. Double
Okay.
kill.
I got a double kill, so I can't really complain, but yeah, mana draining someone when you got nothing else to do. Your right clicks don't do that much. You're slow, allows someone else to get 1 or 2 more right clicks in. That's really valuable. So we look, now you've got 1,000 gold surplus. I pointed at my screen, you can't see that. Now you have enough to buy the Yule Scepter and still have enough for buyback. Seems good. Right, so when you spend gold, you spend your unreliable gold first. Your unreliable gold always goes away before your reliable gold. So basically, spending your unreliable gold is good.
Invisibility.
Alright, getting close to the end now. So there's some kind of fight down here. Oh no, it doesn't mind. Mitch got Aegis. He's gonna... Oh yeah, so they all went... So this was a kind of a mistake by them. They all went to the pit to contest the Roshan, which they kind of thought Mitch was doing, which he was. But in the meantime, we all took their base. So, not really good. Yeah. So once... There was this kind of delay there. Once they fortified, basically just back up, right? Like I said earlier. No reason to stay. What happened there? Sorry, I'm like AFK for my own life right now. Okay, so we're attacking this guy. Good ultimate there. You did immediately get blown up by the Tusk. That's fine. I think your ultimate there was really good. Kill the Storm Spirit. It's a kill secure, but it's good for you because kill secures get you Finger of Death kill bonuses.
They're unstoppable. Hello, this is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double
I
kill.
do the scoreboard open. I think this is you, not me. We're gonna do free camo while you're dead. Yeah, so there's just like gunfights going on now.
Double kill.
Nice.
I don't know what the game plan was there. I should have run up, maybe. That was just a mistake.
Radiant's top tower has been attacked.
Yeah, we could have ended there, but we overrated a little too hard. My guy with Aegis didn't hit Rex. It's okay. This is kind of annoying that he didn't fucking build any regen. But alright, so game's almost over. Is it gonna stack? Oh, it did stack. Awesome. Let's get some of that sweet gold from stacking. Looks like there was a weird fight going on up here. Good stun. Yep, that was good stun, good ultimate. Exactly what you needed. Yeah, some of this point in the game is just like over. So as soon as Magnus is up, you gotta step back. This is a part of the game where putting down a sentry ward, right? If we look. Right, so if you have a sentry ward down right here, right, you see this tusk coming up. So you would have seen the tusk before he killed you, right? Unfortunately, he basically killed you from full health just because his ult just killed you.
This is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double.
Yeah, so what are the main takeaways from this game? Some of your ults are really good, but there are some times where kill securing with an ultimate is like really valuable, right? You get that bonus damage, and then next time you do more damage, right? 40 bonus damage every time is quite a lot. That's one thing to consider. Being in lane and being out of lane is something you have to balance very carefully. If you look at the scoreboard graph, right, 10 minutes in, Mitchell is pretty low on the board. We can even, yeah. So Mitch recovered as the game went on. Yeah, Mitch recovered as the game went on, but like compared to their carry, right, it wasn't until we like really gave him space that he was able to catch up, and we were like killing the jug at this point. But you compare it to like my farm, and I had more farm than safe lane carry at 10 minutes, right? And like mid is contested farm. So it's kind of like you want to be the one to secure that farm for your carry by staying in lane, keeping him alive even when he doesn't want to be alive, and just making sure that he's if he is making poor decisions, you can keep him alive. And sometimes it does make sense to just drop. You can drop wards from the courier in base, and Andy, who's roaming around, can place them for you. He's more than happy to do that, especially for buying them. But yeah, overall, pretty good game. You had some really good plays. The one fight, I don't know exactly when it was, but there was one fight where the Magnus RP'd and you were able to counter-initiate with your stun and with the Hex. That was incredible. That was really, really good, and it really turned the fight in our favor, right? That's the kind of stuff that your position 5 Lion, you want them to be able to do. I think the itemization, so part of it is because you're not stacking camps, you're missing out on a lot of gold because you get gold for people killing your stacked camps. And by not staying in lane as much, you lose out some EXP, so you're a little behind on levels and a little behind on gold. But the main thing is, so the boots, you want to build boots first, then you can upgrade your boots. Don't buy the parts and then the boots. The Eul Scepter on Lion, I don't know if maybe this is the build now and I'm out of touch, but I think that the Eul Scepters, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, in my opinion. I think that you really want, like, a Glimmer Cape would be good, maybe a Force Staff would be really solid, but yeah, Eul's doesn't really make a ton of sense online, in my opinion. The mana draining of creeps, that's the last thing. The mana draining creeps, when you're playing Lion, you can stay topped by mana. A lot of jungle creeps you're able to mana drain, lane creeps you're able to mana drain. Enemy heroes, if you're just like standing around in lane, it's like pretty free. You mana drain them for a couple seconds, and it's very little like risk for a decent but small reward, you know. So it's pretty good. But yeah, overall great game. GG's, and look forward to playing with you more later.